Okay, you talk to me now. It's gonna be like a video.
Oh, I
So,
see.
yeah.
I remember when, I
Let me know,
remember
Jay.
when I
Okay.
had you, that I should have thrown you away, but
Keep that in, okay?
Yeah.
no.
I might need it, if there's any legal matters. Anyway, so tell us about Dad. Tell us what you remember about Dad.
Like
Almost.
meeting him as well.
Yeah, do you remember meeting him? Do you remember where you met him?
I think his sister said, you've got to see this girl.
Yeah.
And then when we met, well, I can hardly remember that day.
That's okay, but do you
I
remember?
hardly remember him.
Let me tell you something.
It's
and that might
my
help.
brain is.
I know. Well, let me tell you two things that you might remember, okay? So you met him in, can I take this off, Jay? Do you feel okay?
Yeah, as long as the hospital.
Yeah, it is, yeah, it's okay. You met Dad in Toronto through the Toronto Choral Society.
Okay.
Do you remember that, the Toronto Choral Society? Do you remember that?
I know that, but I don't remember it.
I know, but you sang. He was singing in a big choir.
Yeah, I sang not in that, I was a singer in alto.
Right. And it was a big choir with Art Pointer, was the name of the director.
Oh,
Art
you're
Pointer.
telling me beautiful things.
Oh, you remembered this yesterday, Ma. Art Pointer. We were talking about it. But anyway, so Auntie,
What is that? There are other people in this room.
Okay, we're rolling again.
okay. So we're going to talk about. Okay, now we're just going to. Yeah, you're going to talk to me. He's taking pictures. So that part's done. Okay. Okay. So we were talking about earlier. We were talking about Dad. You can relax when he's not taking your picture. Snap out of it. What are you doing?
Well, I can't. I
Just
can't.
turn towards me.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
just- So you're talking about Dad, okay, and you met him in the Toronto Choral Society in Toronto.
Did I really?
Yeah. And one of the stories you've told us before, it was at the end of practice, and it was late, the practice, the rehearsal went long. And so he offered to drive you, and I don't know, I guess Auntie Fran was likely in it and stuff like that, in the choir. And he was driving you home, or at least to a certain street car connection, because you would, if you missed that streetcar, it would have been a long time before you could get home. So he took you to this corner in Toronto. And parts of Toronto, the streets, they used to be like cobblestones. They used to be like bricks. And that was the old way of doing it. Anyway, so he let you out of the car, and you're running across the intersection at the light to catch the streetcar, and you tripped on these bricks. And you just went flying, and I guess you scraped your knee up and your chin or something.
I remember nothing about that.
That's-
Isn't that?
It's quite the story, isn't it, Mom? But you told it to me, now I'm telling it to you.
Yeah.
And so Dad, of course, saw this, but there was nothing he could do. He couldn't kind of get out to help you because he'd stopped the car, let you out, and you were on your way. And so he said something like, kind of that you fell for him or whatever, and went skidding across. It could have been Bloor. It was, Heather and Emily would know better the street, but, skidding across the bricks, and he just,
I don't even remember this.
I know. One day, you know what, Mom? You might not remember now, but there's other times when you will remember. You'll
Yeah,
go,
that's
"Oh, I
true,
remember
that's
that."
true,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's funny how the brain works.
Oh,
like
this
that.
brain.
Yeah.
Was it his sister?
It could have been Auntie Marion. I think that's what I
I
remember.
think, you should see this girl or something like
Yeah.
that.
You also might be thinking of Auntie Diane, Larry and Diane, Larry's sister Diane. She would say that to him. So you might be, maybe that happened
It was
twice.
something like that, that they were trying to put me with somebody.
It was you, okay, so there was some, yeah,
There was something was going on.
yeah. So, yeah, I think for you, Mom, you always loved that. Like when you think of, if you can think of it, maybe you don't picture his face right now, but what do you know about him?
You know what I felt? See, I was Russian born, you know, like,
Yeah,
well,
Russian
like-
parents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he was English.
Yeah, Canadian, many generations, but
Yeah,
very,
yeah,
yeah.
And I said, you know, I can still speak English too.
Yeah,
Of course you can. I'm not looking at how you speak. I'm looking at you, or something like that. Yeah.
you told us many times that Dad was a teacher, and at the end of the year, he said, "Oh, come on, let's go for coffee, and you can come to the school." And some kids were coming up, and the one was crying, and you said to them, "What's wrong? Did Mr. Wilson fail you?" "No, we're not gonna have him next year."
I remember that now. No, but keep telling me
No,
that.
I know, but I mean, sometimes the stories
And
come up.
immediately, someday it'll, you
And
know.
Oh, yeah.
there's some days it just, it's very
Right
clear.
now, I just don't even remember what
Just
I
stop being
was.
lazy and go get the lights for your,
You know, because what did I do in this world? I don't know.
Do you remember?
We used to sing.
Mhm.
The Four Sisters used to
There
sing
you go.
something
Okay.
just,
I totally love
it's
those.
like God giving me this
There you go.
thing.
Thank you, God. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Here I was. I don't know anything about myself. And all of a sudden, this came. You were singing with your other sisters, and there was a four. Ruby, Frances, Alice, Ann, and B.
Yeah. Auntie B didn't sing a
I
lot
mean,
of times
yeah,
in the
no,
choir. She
no,
did
but
later, like in the
she was one of
little
the
later on.
sisters.
She did once in a while. Yeah.
Not singing, but I remember her
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
little kid.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, you used to sing, and what did Auntie Fran sing?
She sang bass.
Bass. And you sang, and Alice would have sung the harmony, or sorry, the,
Yes,
the,
because she
uh,
couldn't,
yeah,
she
yeah,
couldn't do the other
yeah.
ones.
And
And Christine,
that's me.
sang.
We sang with you, I sang with you many, many years. I could sing, and you could sing high too, Mom.
You were a tenor, weren't you?
No, you're thinking,
I was,
I know, I still, I realized you did.
oh, was I the tenor?
you sang
No,
alto.
no, I was the alto.
I think Ruby sang tenor, you were alto, and Alice was soprano. She would have been the
because she
soprano.
couldn't read the things.
Yeah, she didn't, maybe, some people can't harmonize.
No, then she didn't know how to look at the
Yeah,
things. So.
yeah, some people don't read music. Okay, well, the church you got married in
Yes, yesterday
was Danforth Baptist
Baptist
Church.
Church. Okay.
I know a lot of shit done.
And he was not really,
I just had
I think he was in a different kind of church.
No, that was Danforth is what he grew up in, Danforth Baptist
Oh,
with
he did
Lil-
too?
with
Okay.
Lillian and Lloyd.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
he's-
my church was,
I hope you have the best night.
I think you were in the Russian, was it Russian or Ukrainian Baptist Church?
something like that, yes.
Yeah, no problem.
But he was a Baptist.
Yeah, they were both Baptist, but they're just, yours was in Russian.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
His was,
oh,
yeah,
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 yes.
yeah. So,
Yeah, and it was very, very certain that you don't be married to someone who's not a Christian.
okay,
Very much so.
yeah,
So it was quite a heavy, like we'd see each other because the youth would would be doing something from different churches, so, and he kept looking at me, I think, or maybe I kept looking at him.
Maybe.
He was very tall.
Yes, see
Yeah,
that?
very
There you
tall. He
go.
was 6 feet.
About 6'4".
6'4".
No, he wasn't that tall. 6'1".
Who was 6'4"?
Well, Connor, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like the other brother.
Yeah, yeah.
Justin Connor. Yeah, his
Justin,
brother.
Justin.
Yeah.
Justin Connor, you said,
Yeah. Justin, Connor, Dylan, Busan. Yeah.
but he'd say, Justin Connor, you said.
No. J. Justin. J. Justin. Busan.
Okay. And there was a Connor.
Yes, that's their second. So Justin Blair Busan.
Justin Blair, you said.
Yeah, and Connor Wilson and Dylan Robert.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Why did they name them like
I
that?
have no idea who did such a thing.
Yeah.
That was Larry and I would have called them those names. We decided. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in our place, just had
One name?
one
Well,
name.
a lot of my brothers and sisters, the older ones, did have second names, but by the time, you always say, by the time they got to you, because your number,
Yeah,
remember what you
number
were?
11.
Yeah, and by the time they got to you, they just ran out of names. And so they just called you Anne.
Yeah.
But,
And then it became Hanya.
and you were,
Mother would always say,
yeah,
Hanya.
yeah. And I was named after Baba. She was, how would you say it in Russian? Christine is it Christina? Christina?
Christina.
Christina. And then Hanya, my middle name's after you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of got. a
On
pretty
the
good
sky,
name.
this is a
And what's that mean? What's that mean?
and come over here.
Oh.
This who dies, come over here.
Okay. Yeah. So
She
yeah.
always needed help.
Yeah. So you were married in Danforth Baptist, and your reception was down in the basement of the church, and the ladies served. You wanted a sit-down dinner. You didn't want. I guess a lot of people had sandwiches, but you wanted a sit-down dinner. So they
Did I
served.
really?
Yeah. Just you were saying yesterday about being on the farm with the horses. Remember about
We
the
used
horses?
to listen to them eating. We'd go and, when they bring their horses in, we wanted to hear them eat.
Mhm.
And it was a loud, loud noise they made.
Mhm.
Remember Nick, Mike, John, Andy, Hal, Walter, Victor, Eddie, 8 boys and 6 girls.
Mhm.
Boy, my father was busy.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, what else can you say?
Oh boy.
I forgot that I was number 11.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I didn't know for a long time, how did I land into this world? And then I kind of began to think, I can speak Russian. Я знаю это. Хорошо. There I go.
Translation, that means.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know about it now, and it's pretty good. Хорошо is pretty good.
Okay. Yeah.
But when you say, я люблю тебя to
Oh.
a man, that's a different.
Yeah.
I like you. Yes.
Yeah.
Я люблю тебя. I like you.
You were trying to teach that yesterday, Pastor Scott from church.
What did I say?
You told him that, and you're trying to teach him that so he'd say that to his wife. I said,
Oh,
okay, I'm gonna
did
try
I?
and remember.
I don't remember that.
No, I know,
What
that's
did
okay.
he say?
He said, okay, I've got to remember that, and he was trying to to memorize it to tell his wife Christine. Yes, his
Okay,
wife's name is Christine too. So.
Yeah, and she was what,
Well, we'll
Ukrainian or?
No, you know where somewhere in there is some Ukrainian blood, I think. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
do you-
So
okay.
she would know what he said.
Maybe she might not speak though,
Okay.
but
Well, not
she,
speak,
you know
but
what?
she
And Christine is actually related through marriage. So there's Uncle Al, your brother Uncle Al,
Yeah.
was married to Auntie Diane,
Diane, oh,
and
she was
she
a
was
lovely.
Bellows, right? Or how do you say Bellows? Bellows?
I can't remember.
Anyway, so her, it's through that family that Christine is related. So she was
I-
either, it's okay, Mom, it doesn't matter.
It-
You
It's
wouldn't know-
nice for you to
Yeah, you
tell me
wouldn't know
what
it,
these
but
things.
we were-
It's wonderful.
Yeah, and so Christine is somehow related to Auntie Diane's family, which is kind of cool, you know, so, yeah.
I knew I was a farm kid,
Yeah.
and I used to milk cows.
Mhm.
And I remember Mother used to have to, oh, no, you this and that. Come and help me with this, come and help me with that. Because then the others were married and so on, and I
Older,
was
yeah.
one of the younger ones.
Mhm.
There was how many after me? Mitchell?
No, that's your son. After you would have been, Walter was just ahead, is it Victor?
Ahead of me.
Is it-
Victor, Eddie,
And Beatrice.
and Beatrice. And that was it, that was
Yes.
4.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's,
Oh, I just, it's difficult to remember things
it is.
with the
Yeah.
brain like that. I remember when Mother said, oh, halawa, halawa.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, now I know how she used to.
Yeah.
She used to just grab her head.
Yeah.
And that's, you'll find that shortly.
Uh-oh. Does that guy look familiar?
Yeah. I think he used to know me.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And his name was Lauren and Ann Wilson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's that.
Does she speak English?
Oh,
His
so
grandma.
the files are opening.
A little bit I know. But look at him. When did he?
8 years ago. Just coming up.
And what was it he had? He said, I knew about this
Yeah.
when they were taking him away.
Yeah.
And that's the last
Yeah.
thing I remember about him.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, it was just some
But his
directness.
grandmother, does she speak English?
Yeah.
I remember her saying that.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, when it bites you a bit, you remember it, but the good things you forget.
Just
Isn't that amazing?
sometimes, yeah. Yeah,
It
I
is
know.
amazing. The things that hurt you,
Mhm.
you'll carry on.
That's too bad, isn't it? But
It
there-
is.
But you know what, Mom, there are a lot of good memories you have too.
But the
And
good
fun.
memories,
Yeah.
sure, if somebody says something, like, him.
Yeah. That brings good memories when you
Yeah.
see him.
He was very tall, 6,
Blue eyes.
yeah. But I remember his grandmother,
Mm-hmm. I know.
yeah, does she speak English?
Yeah, I think that really did hurt you, Mom. But
That kicked me right in the
Mhm.
head,
And yet-
in my
yeah.
heart.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And
he's,
yet-
and he said, better than you do.
Well, that was, Grandma Wilson, I said,
Yeah,
think did
yeah,
that, right? His mother?
his
Yeah,
mother.
Grandma Wilson.
His mother really liked me. She was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
If she wanted anything, could you come and help me with this? Could you come and help me with this? And she knew I could do
Mhm.
works.
Mhm. Yeah. I think she
Let
was.
me see him. Did he have a girlfriend that kicked him out?
Oh, I was gonna say when you're married? No.
Oh, no, no, no. No, I think,
beforehand. Yeah.
I think he had one.
Yeah, I can't remember.
So he was kind of broken-hearted for
Yeah,
a while
yeah.
until he saw me, and that's
then the rest was history.
Yeah.
I think her name was Helen. Does that name?
Yes, it was.
There's a
Helen.
twig. Okay.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
she thought she was so, and she married some young, I don't know, he was nothing boy
Devin
compared
Malik
to
to the
him.
unit. Devin Malik to
Because
the
she couldn't find another guy. They were kind of afraid of her because she was so, she thought she, boy, that Dave thinks she's so, you know, oh yeah. But when we became, it was wonderful. The kids were,
Well, there you go. Right. Yeah.
Mitchell, Christine, Heather, and Emily.
Yeah. Even, well, God bless you. Is that slow? No, that's thank God.
Well,
That's
slow,
thank-
it
Yes,
means,
thanks.
thank
Thank God.
goodness we're going out.
Wasn't it? I thought
Yeah.
there was a cake for when Auntie Alice got engaged to be married. And because she was older in life, someone got the cake and they put Slava Bohu Sonia.
Oh, well, slow boho means just may God love you.
And does it, I thought it was something like, thank God, Alice. Like,
No,
oh, no.
it's for slow boho
Oh,
to
thank you, God,
for you.
for getting Alice a husband. I don't know. No, but what was it that you wanted her to say was goodbye?
Goodbye in Russian?
Oh, до свидания, до свидания. Till we meet again. Yeah.